Mother's Day across Major League Baseball. Chase Field here in Arizona, no different. A good Mother's Day crowd filing in here, getting their free Diet Pepsi Mother's Day tote bags as the Diamondbacks and Phillies get set to wrap up this 4-game series here on Mother's Day at Chase Field. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Good afternoon from Chase Field and happy Mother's Day. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. The Diamondbacks may have had their 5-game win streak snapped here last night, Bob, but they still have a chance to take 3 of 4 in this series from the Phillies. And this is kind of a good news, bad news thing so far. The good news is the pitching, both in the rotation and the bullpen, has been outstanding. The offense, not so much.
It's kind of a microcosm of the season when you think about it. The starters struggled a little bit early in the year. They've settled in. The bullpen had their struggles early in the season. They've settled in. Unfortunately, we just can't seem to get that offense going with runners in scoring position, and the numbers in this series reflect that.
1 for 21 with runners in scoring position, and that was best illustrated last night when they had 2 on against Papelbon in the ninth.
Not an easy task against Jonathan Papelbon, but Eric Hinske goes down on a high fastball, and then A.J. Pollock strikes out on a perfect pitch on that outside corner at the knees. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the opposing pitcher, but at some point you get a bald spot in the back there from doing that, and it's about time for the offense to kick it in gear.
Well, they'll be up against the Phillies' most consistent starting pitcher this season, Kyle Kendrick, on the mound for Philadelphia, and for the Diamondbacks, it's Brandon McCarthy. Much more from Chase Field coming up in just a moment here. Arizona Diamondbacks try and take 3 of 4 from the Phillies on Mother's Day here in Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Paul Goldschmidt. Happy Mother's Day. Just wanted to say have a great day to all the moms out there, and especially my mom. I love you.
Hi, I'm A.J. Pollock, and I'd like to take a moment to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom and my grandma. Without you guys, I wouldn't be who I am. So thank you guys, and have a nice day.
Mother's Day here all over Major League Baseball. Players honoring Mother's Day and raising funds and awareness for breast cancer and breast cancer research here on May 12, 2013. Pink shoes, pink bases, pink bats, pink wristbands, and for the first time, Bob Brunley, pink baseballs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of effect that may or may not have on the game. Pink stitching, pink ink on the baseball, if you will. I don't suppose it's going to cause any kind of change, but we'll have to wait and see. There you go.
Yeah, the red stitching is gone today. Today it's pink with pink lettering. Commissioner Selig's signature on there. Charlie Manuel put his signature on the lineup card today, trying to get a split here of this 4-game set. Here's the lineup for the Phillies against Brandon McCarthy. Ben Revere in the leadoff spot today.
Yeah, why not? Reached base 4 times in the game last night, scored a couple of runs. Charlie Manuel looking to jumpstart this offense a little bit. The guys in the middle are the same. You see Freddie Galvis getting the start at third base for Michael Young, and Eric Kratz, who did the bulk of the catching when Carlos Ruiz was serving his suspension in their day game after a night game.
There's a strike. We're underway on Mother's Day here at Chase Field. A look at our Arizona Ford Diamondback starting pitcher, Brandon McCarthy. Still looking for his first win of the year.
He's been making baby steps in the right direction. Needs to find a way to miss some bats.
Down the left field line. And that's a foul ball, says Gary Cederstrom at third.
Yeah, Brandon McCarthy has not given up fewer than 8 hits in any of his starts this year. The good news is he rarely walks anybody, so opponents have to bunch those base hits together to score against him.
And a rare, in fact, a first. Paul Goldschmidt a day off today. Eric Hinsky making just his second start of the season and the first at a defensive position. He got 1 start as a DH in Yankee Stadium. So Goldie gets the day off.
Had to seatbelt him to the bench over there.
Here's the 1-2. Defensively for the Diamondbacks, Hinsky at first, Chavez at third.
Yeah, Hinsky the big change in the lineup today. Jason Kubel back in there against a right-hander. A.J. Pollock patrolling center field again today. Can't say enough about the defense for the Diamondbacks this year. We talked about the ups and downs of the rotation and the bullpen and the struggles of the offense, but that defense has been outstanding every day.
Ring him up, sit him down. Good start for Brandon McCarthy.
Shortstop number 11, Jimmy Rollins.
Good start for Brandon McCarthy. Fastball right on that outside corner. Gets a call from Kerwin Danley, who I noticed has gone to the hockey style mask as well. A lot of the umpires are changing.
Jimmy Rollins. Rollins 250, 2 home runs and 12 RBIs. He was on base 3 times last night. Walked, singled twice, had a pair of RBIs. McCarthy ahead 0-2.
Two-seamer the cutter. Equal percentages so far this season. Mixes in an occasional curveball. It's all about the location of those first 2 pitches.
Martin Prado in shallow right makes a nice play.
Second baseman.
Prado just seems so smooth. He just glides to the ball. Great body control to spin around and throw back to Eric Hinsky, hustling over to cover that bag at first. That's that tweener. A lot of first basemen will go after that ground ball and make it an extremely tough play for Brandon McCarthy to get over there and cover the bag. But with the range of Martin Prado, Hinsky knew he could get back and cover the bag, and Martin was going to make the play.
Here's Chase Utley. Utley at 270 on the season, 7 homers and 24 RBIs. On base twice last night. He walked and singled. Utley 2 for 10 in the series so far. Got to be ready.
Always ready. Put it right in there. Brandon McCarthy with some good breaking pitches early in the ball game. He usually doesn't incorporate that till the second or third time through the order, but nice curveball that time. Good downward movement.
He and Miguel Montero have not always been on the same page in terms of fastball and breaking ball, but so far so good. Two and two. Chase Utley has hit safely in 5 of his last 6 games, 7 for 23 over that span. Struck him out. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 first for Brandon McCarthy on Mother's Day here at Chase Field. Baseball is presented by Sanderson Ford. An impressive first inning for Brandon McCarthy. All the fans arriving here at Chase Field getting free Mother's Day tote bags courtesy of our friends at Diet Pepsi. And a good crowd on hand. Been a good crowd, Bob, this whole series.
Yeah, it really has been. The Phillies travel pretty well. We've seen a lot of Phillies gear in the stands, but a lot of Diamondbacks fans as well. And why not? It's been a great weekend of baseball. Diamondbacks with a chance to take 3 out of 4 with a win today.
They have won 5 of their last 6 overall. Let's take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks starting lineup, brought to you by Scottsdale Healthcare.
Well, we've already documented Eric Hinsky in the lineup for Paul Goldschmidt, hiding down there in that 8th spot in the lineup. A lot of lefties, as usual, for Kirk Gibson against a right-handed starter for the Phillies.
And that would be Kyle Kendrick, who in many ways has been their best starting pitcher this year. Gerardo Parra leads it off.
Yeah, for Kendrick, actually going back to last August, he's got more wins than anybody else in the major leagues with 11. Been very consistent so far in the early going this season. Hey, you think about a pitching staff with Cliff Lee and Roy Halladay,
Cole
Hamels, and Kyle Kendrick is the guy that's been carrying the bulk of the load for this pitching staff.
Lee has been up and down. Hamels hasn't had any run support, and Roy Halladay is about to have a shoulder operation next week. So you combine that with the lack of offense so far, and you understand why the Phillies are scuffling here coming in. 0-2 to Gerardo Parra. Parra 313, 2 home runs and 10 RBIs, stepping in with a .383 on base percentage. He's walked 16 times this year. And he drives it to right. Delman Young looking up, and it's gone. Gerardo Parra, his 3rd home run of the year, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. There's a Fulton home run, another $150 from our friends at Fulton Homes. Goes to Central Arizona Mountain Rescue.
Quick strike offense from Gerardo Parra against Kyle Kendrick. No doubt about that one. Got every bit of it. The 5th home run Kendrick has surrendered this year. For Parra, his 3rd home run of the season. You gotta love those kind of starts.
Didi Gregorius. Well, 2 nights ago, Jimmy Rollins hit the first pitch of the baseball game out for a home run, and now the Diamondbacks have their leadoff home run in the bottom of the 1st here in the series finale. Didi 358, 3 home runs and 3 RBIs. He was 0 for 4 here yesterday. Didi 2 for 11 in the series so far. Batting .438 against right-hand pitching this year. Gerardo Parra. There has been no let up since day one. He's had his foot on the gas pedal, Bob, and the pedal's been to the metal all year long.
Yes, indeed.
He has been something. Gregorius drives it to the gap in right center. That gets down, and it's headed for the corner. Didi into second. He'll take the turn. Didi Gregorius, stand-up triple. He has been electric.
But when you get the outfielders split the way the Phillies were in center field and right field, and Gregorius can find that gap, it is off to the races. D-backs already halfway to the cycle here in the 1st inning. They got the 2 tough ones out of the way.
Brandon McCarthy, a 1-2-3 first, including 2 strikeouts. He's already got a 1-0 lead. And Martin Prado up there with Gregorius at 3rd. 1-0. Martin 230, 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. He was 0 for 4 here last night. He is 3 for 11 so far in the series. Martin got off to a hot start in May, had 5 hits in his first 14 at-bats this month. But he's 5 for 23 in the 7 games since. He has scored only 2 runs so far in May. Out of play.
Well, as we know in this game, partner, there's no such thing as a gimme RBI, but with a guy that handles the bat the way Martin Prado does, and the infield playing back, you'd think he could just push that ball into play to shorter second and get that runner home from 3rd base.
A little ground ball to Utley would work nicely here. Martin with a pink bat here on Mother's Day. He strikes out, 1 away.
Well, let's take a look at the arsenal of Kyle Kendrick out there on the mound today. He'll feature a lot of 2-seam fastballs, cut fastballs. Also has a splitter that he uses for a changeup. Really, that's it. He doesn't throw very many breaking pitches at all.
Eric Chavez in the cleanup spot today. Chopper to Howard at first. They come home. Didi is hung up. Chavez heads to second. And he's back safely at third. Didi Gregorius. They waited too long.
Anytime you're involved in a rundown as the runner, if you can keep distance between yourself and the baseball and keep shuffling, and that's what Didi was able to do. The idea defensively is to make him commit, run hard at him, get him running hard back to third base. But you can see Kratz just kind of tippy-toeing down that third base line. He allowed Didi to continue to keep that space between himself and the baseball, and ultimately dives back in under the tag. And outstanding
you
base
saw
runner.
Didi locked on to Chavez, making sure that Eric was safely into second. Eric never let up coming around the bag. And Didi, while he was doing that, was able to get close enough. So here's Miguel Montero. That is scored, by the way, a fielder's choice. And he goes to second on the throw.
But the key to any rundown is to get the runner turned and running hard. If you allow that guy to shuffle along the way that Didi was able to, the rundown might last forever.
How about the baseball sense he just showed on that play?
Yep. Knew exactly where he was in relation to the base with those shuffle steps. As you said, watching Chavez the entire time to make sure he could get to second base. And then when he realized he was close enough to dive in, there he went.
He's just turned 23 years old. So a chance now for the Diamondbacks to improve their fortunes in terms of hitting with runners in scoring position. That's been a massive weakness here. We saw it last night where they had a chance to tie the game against Papelbon, and Montero has a chance to add to the 1-0 lead here. Miggy 1 for 4 here last night, singled and struck out twice. Eric Kratz is the catcher for the Phillies. He'll talk it over with Kyle Kendrick here.
And we talked about the success that Kendrick has had not only in the first part of this season but going back to the second half of last season. But like a lot of good pitchers, he runs into problems in the first inning. Opponent's batting average nearly 300 against him in the first inning. Drops down in the low 200s every inning after that until you get to the 5th and 6th.
Misses inside there. It's full 3-2. A.J. Pollock is on deck. Chopper to Howard at first. They'll come home. Look out, baby! They apply the tag on Gregorius. He's out at the plate. Montero aboard. Chavez to third. 2 outs now in the first.
Center fielder, A.J. Pollock.
So here's A.J. at 265, 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. He was on base 3 times here last night against the Phillies. 2 doubles, a walk. He scored a run. He leads the National League with 14 doubles. Oh, 0-1. AJ hitting .290 this month. He is 9 for 31 in May. Chavez at third, Montero at first. A run in here on the Parra home run to lead it off. Well, that number's got to change.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, a lot of it just has to do with situational hitting. Normally you talk about situational hitting, you think of a runner at second, nobody out, move the ball to the right side. But with runners in scoring position, the infield playing back, just try to hit a ground ball up the middle of the field like that.
Right on cue. Chavez scores. Montero holds at second. RBI single for A.J. Pollock, and it's 2-0 Diamondbacks.
Cut fastball out over the plate. That pitch is going to be the bane of pitchers in baseball. I'm telling you, more mistakes are made with that cut fastball, in my estimation, than any other pitch. Too hard to consistently control that pitch and get it to the spot you need to put it to be an effective pitch.
If you don't locate it, it becomes, in a sense, just a flat fastball that sits there waiting to be hit. Here's Jason Kubel. Jason at .250 on the year, 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. He grounded out in a pinch hit appearance last night. Jason 4 for 26 with 10 strikeouts since coming off the DL after he missed 14 games with that quad strain suffered in Milwaukee. He had been off to a very good start before the injury, 10 for 30 over the first 8 games.
.25 pitches in the inning already for Kyle Kendrick. You love to see that. Run up that pitch count on the starter. Try to get into that soft underbelly, that long relief.
Didi is reenacting the rundown play at third there for everyone who missed it. That showed, Bob, that to me was one of those things that is innate. Either it's there or it's not. And he showed remarkable baseball sense in that situation for a guy who just turned 23 years old.
Yeah, just knowing where he was on the baseline, where the defenders were, how much distance he had, as I mentioned, between himself and the baseball, and got to that point where he knew he could dive back into the bag ahead of the throw.
Kendrick gets the call there. It's 2-1. Aaron Hill's kind of listening to what's going on behind him, just laughing. Didi Gregorius.
Well, you mentioned Aaron Hill. That's a guy that would love to be in the lineup today. He's 5 for 9 lifetime with a couple doubles against Kyle Kendrick. That's the toughest thing, I think, for a lot of players about being on the disabled list, when you know you've done well against an opposing pitcher.
Utley at second. That ends the inning. The Diamondbacks strand 2, but they get 2 across. Notably, Gerardo Parra's 3rd home run of the year to lead it off with Bat Cam here on Mother's Day at Chase. the UPS store. Flyers, business cards, brochures, and more. We can print that. Back at Chase Field, Diamondbacks with 2 in the first against Kyle Kendrick, and now Brandon McCarthy goes back out there with a lead thanks in part to Gerardo Parra. Second time this season Parra has hit a leadoff home run. Did it April 3rd against the Cardinals' Lance Lynn. The 54th leadoff home run in Diamondbacks history. Ryan Howard leads off the second for the Phillies. There's a strike 0-1. And there's the shift.
What a shock.
Hey, it ain't broke. It ain't broke, Brenly. That'll get out of play.
Yeah, anything he hits to the left side of the field, especially on the ground, is going to be an accident. Ryan Howard has one thing on his mind when he steps in that batter's box, and that's lift the ball in the air to right field as far as you can.
He's done it 6 times so far this season, batting .252 with 20 RBIs. He'll do that a lot too.
Ooh.
He's waiting for that popcorn. Brandon McCarthy has struck out 3 of the first 4 he's faced here this afternoon. And now stepping in for the Phillies, here's Delman Young. Young at .207, a homer and 3 RBIs. It gets by Didi and finds a gap. Young will stop at first with a first base hit of the game for the Phillies. 1 out single here in the second.
Left fielder, number 9, Dominic Brown.
Not a bad pitch that time. 2-seamer down in the zone. Just a better piece of hitting that time by Delman Young. Hard ground ball past the diving Didi Gregorius into left center for the first hit of the game for the Phillies.
Here's Dominic Brown, who's been a bit of a problem in this series.
Get that fresh popcorn. You need something to wash it down with. Why not a $4 beer? What a deal.
It's going to be 22 for both.
Gets by Hinsky. Prado is there. A little juggling act, and they get the force on Young at second. The entire right-hand side of the Diamondbacks infield involved there.
I think Martin Prado realized that was going to be a much tougher play to try to hit a moving target in Brandon McCarthy coming over to cover first than it was to throw to second. You could see Delman Young had to hold up to let the ball go by. That gives Martin enough time to deliver the throw to Didi and get the lead runner.
Poetry in motion.
Yeah, Martin is aware that the runner had to hold up and let the ball go by. That's why he thought he had plenty of time to get that lead runner, and indeed he had plenty of time.
Freddie Galvis lines one into right. Base hit. First and second now with 2 outs for the Phillies. Galvis in there at third today for Michael Young, who's got the day off.
Catcher number 31, Eric Kratz.
Carlos Ruiz also getting the day off today. So here's Eric Kratz, who's doing the catching. Kratz at .203, 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. And at the age of 33, made his first ever opening day roster this year. Eric Kratz 3 for 18 over his last 6 games. From Lansdale, Pennsylvania, played college ball at Eastern Mennonite University. That's in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Baseball powerhouse.
It is now. He was a 29th round pick by the Blue Jays back in the 2002 draft. Eric Chavez. They go the short way for the force, and McCarthy is out of the inning. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Gerardo Parra coming up in this inning. Last time he was up there, he had a leadoff homer. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0.
Chase Field, a busy Sunday here at the ballpark. Diamondbacks off to a 2-0 lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. Hi everybody, Jody Jackson with you, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You know, today was a little bit different in the clubhouse. Everyone going around visiting Eric Hinske's locker as he gets his first start of the season. He's played in the field in only 2 other games. Of course, he's been in the pinch hit role. He told me, look, when I'm following up Paul Goldschmidt, backing him up, especially in April, I know coming off the bench I'm not going to get many starts, if any starts, that is, because once again, we're looking at May 12th right now. So Paul Goldschmidt had started 37 straight games. Eric Hinske excited to be in the lineup today, guys.
He sure is, Jody. He's only started 1 game all year, and that was as the DH. That was April 16th against the Yankees. He was 0 for 4. And he has done a marvelous job, Bob, of, I think, knowing your role and thriving in that role.
And staying prepared. I mean, we watch him every day take ground balls at third, take ground balls at first, knowing that he's probably not going to be in the lineup anytime soon, but stays prepared.
Yeah, it is a daily thing. You're right. Not a day goes by where Eric Hinske isn't fielding grounders at third base, and you were kind of wondering, it kind of seems like we're going to see that eventually. But he's at first base today.
I think part of the reason we haven't seen it up to this point is the fact that Eric Chavez has done such a nice job. When Gibby puts him in there against right-handed starters, it's tough to find a place to squeeze Eric Hinske into that lineup, but we've got a long way to go. I'm sure Eric will get his share of starts.
2-2 now. That'll do it. A strikeout for Kendrick, 1 away. There's Brandon McCarthy. 0 for 11 on the year. A walk. He has struck out 3 times. Ken Crenshaw keeping busy in there, working on some gloves. With a screwdriver, apparently.
Every team has a guy. Sometimes it's a trainer, sometimes it's the equipment manager. who knows how to perform surgery on players' gloves.
High chopper. Kendrick is under it. Gerardo Parra taking care of business. The amazing rewards credit card from NBAZ. Learn more at NBArizona.com. Since May the 1st, Bob, he has been hitting everything.
It's hard to think of more than a couple of games all season that Gerardo Parra hasn't been involved in some positive things for the Arizona Diamondbacks, whether it's making a great defensive play or his aggressive base running or swinging that bat at the plate.
They have a number of guys on this ball club that can beat you in different ways. And Parra is a great example. A home run his first time up. Boy, that thing is getting a transplant or something.
It's not easy. I mean, those laces have to go in a certain place, and you wrap them around, and they go back through the webbing and come out the other side. You have to tie knots in them. That's an art form. Especially as superstitious as players are about their gloves.
Oh, sure. You want to swing a player's bat? He'll take this one, take on. Hey, can I hold your glove? What are you kidding me?
Don't even look at it.
Exactly. It's a completely different thing. It's funny.
Very personal. It fits your hand just so.
Here's the 0-2. A 1-2-3 second for Kyle Kendrick. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. And here at Chase Field on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially those in Woburn, Mass. AT&T Twitter poll question: what do you do to honor your mom on Mother's Day? Do the flowers, send her to the spa. That's big around here, all the great spas in the area. You do the Mom's Day brunch, or do you tweet mom on Mother's Day? Tweet us and let us know it at Fox Sports AZ.
I think you have to do multiples for mom. Flowers and brunch, or a spa and tweet.
Next level.
And do all four. Send some flowers, take her to brunch, drop her off at the spa, then tweet her and tell her you're coming to pick her up.
Tweet you what time I'm pick you up, sure. Kendrick lofts one up high in the air left side. Jason Kugel's under it, one away.
It's kind of like the cycle of Mother's Day gifts. Do all four.
Well, there's certainly a lot of options here at Chase Field.
Go Diamondbacks!
That's right. Nice. It's good parenting right there. Ben Revere. He struck out looking his first time up. A key for Brandon McCarthy, as with any ground ball pitcher, is to consistently live lower in the strike zone. And Brandon says he looks at the pitch data, and he says he looks for truth. There's a ground ball. Didi Gregorius scoops it up. Now, the key for Brandon is the ground ball numbers, and he says he looks at the ground ball rates, and that will tell him if he needs to make an adjustment. And when you look at the numbers, his ground ball rate right there on the bottom at 42.5%. That's 43rd among National League starting pitchers. And you think, well, that might not be so great, but look at the past, and that's what Brandon is doing. The ground ball stats tell him if he needs to adjust something. 42% ground ball, actually better than his ground ball rate last year in Oakland. So those are the numbers that he looks at. Jimmy Rollins steps in, and those tell him that in terms of throwing that two-seam fastball and keeping the ball on the ground, he's doing just fine. So you ask, what's going wrong? Why is he still looking for his first win? Well, the numbers have something to say there as well. The big difference, the home run to fly ball percentage. Look at that. It's way up to 14% this year. A big spike from 8% last season, and more than double his rate of 2011. Those are the numbers that Brandon looks at. So the ground ball, that's working. The two-seam fastball working. He's getting the balls on the ground. It's the other stuff where it's getting away. There's a strike. Ring him up, sit him down. Fourth strikeout for Brandon McCarthy. They'll go bottom three. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0 on Mother's Day here at Chase Field. Diamondbacks host the Rangers for some interleague intrigue right here at Chase Field. Game 1, 12:40. First 5,000 fans get a snapback cap courtesy of Budweiser. Then game 2, 6:40. But before then, we'll be outside for the big street festival. Between games, music, a beer garden, food trucks, all outside Chase Field here. And plus, when you buy a ticket for both games, you'll get free D-Bucks, and you can use those on merchandise and concessions here at the ballpark. So call us now at 602-462-4600 or log on to dbacks.com/doubleheader. Didi Gregorius tripled his first time up. Didi gets some hits for my mom. Nice. He's got 5 doubles and a triple so far this year. shallow right. 1 away. Kyle Kendrick's last start Tuesday against the Giants in San Francisco, and he was very good. Allowed 2 runs on 6 hits in 7 and got the win. 6 strikeouts, no walks. He won his 3rd straight start. His best effort of the season came April 26th. That was against the Mets. He went all the way, a 3-hit shutout, a walk and 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's had 6 quality starts in his 7 efforts this year. Only the first start of the season against Kansas City, he went 5 2/3, gave up 5 earned runs in that game. Other than that, he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his other 6 starts.
Yeah, since that start you mentioned, Bob, Kyle Kendrick is 4-0 in his last 6 with a 1.71 ERA. He's been very good lately. Martin Prado struck out his first time up. Little chopper. Galvis in 3rd, 2 away.
I'm teething.
Even on Mother's Day, you got to deal with the teething and the whole thing. And Mom never gets a day off.
Nope. At least the youngster's got her credential on, so she can pretty much go anywhere she wants to in the ballpark. Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day at participating locations.
Chavez, left field. Dominic Brown looking up. And he takes it away. Dominic Brown may have robbed a home run right there. Dominic Brown goes over the wall and left and keeps it. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Trade, Dominic Brown using his glove to perhaps take away Eric Chavez's 5th home run of the year.
Yeah, really made a nice play, timing his leap perfectly right up there at the yellow stripe. Looked like it was going to clear. We'll never know for sure, but nice running catch by Dominic Brown out there in left field.
He's had a very good series here in these 4 games. So Eric Chavez's home run total sits at 4. And here's Chase Utley. Utley struck out his first time up on a 4 strikeout so far, recorded by Brandon McCarthy, who's cruising along here. He's been effective and he's been efficient. In fact, of Brandon's now 36 pitches, 28 have been for strikes. And 3 or fewer pitches to 8 of 11 batters today.
Boy, you love that particular stat. Make something happen quickly. Let your defense work behind you.
Utley lines it to right, drops in front of Parra. There's a leadoff single for the Phillies here in the fourth. Their third hit of the ball game. Mother's Day brunch in the ABC Club.
Yeah.
That was one of the Twitter options on the AT&T Twitter poll. Little omelets.
Oh, I'll go for that.
Here's Ryan Howard. He has struck out in 5 of his last 6 at bats going back to yesterday. In fact, if you go back even further, he's had an unbelievable. I just keep going back. It's full of Ks. Thursday, he was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Friday, he was 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Yesterday, he was 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. And today, he's 0 for 1 with, wait for it, a strikeout. He has struck out this season 43 times in 132 at bats. Maybe they should take the shift off. That's a lot of strikeouts.
That's a lot. And Charlie Manuel can live with that number of strikeouts if Ryan Howard occasionally hits the ball up in the seats, but he's only done that 6 times this year, way below his normal pace.
0 for 14 in the series so far. He has struck out 9 times. Straight up in the air, and sure enough, he finally hit one to the right side. Jason Kubel's there. Right side for him, which is where almost no one is. And sure enough, he hit it right to somebody.
Well, we've showed you the exaggerated pull shift on the infield. However, the outfielders play straight up and deep because he hits fly balls to every part of the outfield. But when he hits it on the ground, you can almost be guaranteed it's going to be to the right side.
Here's Delman Young, singled his last time up. Right field, Parra. But we got to hurry up. I think he does that just for his own entertainment.
The word has gotten around the National League. Very few runners even attempt to take liberties on Gerardo Parra. I mean, Utley wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary there. He went about halfway to second base, read the ball, but Parra saw the base runner even a step off. He's going to try to throw behind him.
Dominic Brown, who made that tremendous catch in left field to end the last Diamondbacks at bat. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Brown 1 for 4 in last night's Phillies win. He had an RBI single in the 8th. 4 for 12 with 2 RBIs through the first 3 games of this series.
You give me a kiss? Come on for luck. Kiss?
Stingy with the kisses. Give Mom a little love. Come on.
Brandon McCarthy doing a nice job of mixing it up here. .44 pitches, 33 for strikes. Hard down the right field line, foul. Boy, a lot of food here at the ballpark today. They were ready at Chase for all the moms. You usually find a way to make sure some of that makes its way up here. I know you are busy with your own Mother's Day activities.
Oh, yeah. They just never end. It's a 24-hour period, and
every day is Mom's Day?
Every day is Mom Day, but especially today. Take full advantage. 24 hours of pampering.
Chopper. McCarthy's there. When Brandon McCarthy is pitching well, this is what it looks like. So far, so good. He leads it 2-0. Brought to you in part by Ram Trucks, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. And by Gila River, another proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. FoxSportsArizona.com, all your online local coverage you can't find anywhere else. Right now you can read Jack Verder's on-site analysis from today's game. Craig Morgan with all the news and notes from Cardinals minicamp. Carson Palmer takes the field. Craig provides updates, breaking news, analysis on the Coyotes ownership situation. All that and more right now at FoxSportsArizona.com. 5 of the first 6 Diamondbacks batters today got on base in some form or fashion, but since then, Kyle Kendrick has set down 7 straight. He'll face Montero, Pollock, and Kubel here in the 4th.
I mentioned that Kendrick, when he gets in trouble, it's usually in that first inning. He delivered 28 pitches in the first. He cut that down to 12 in the second and only 6 pitches in the third. If he follows that pattern, he's going to get 3 outs on 3 pitches here. That's one of my favorite things about going to the ballpark. Walking up that tunnel, and look at that. Beautiful.
The thrill of the grass, as W.P. Kinsella once wrote. Bob, Miggy's up there taking his big golf swing. Still, it seems, look, I'm no Ted Williams, but he's swinging hard all the time.
And I don't even think he realizes how hard he is swinging. When you talk to him, he feels like he's taking a normal swing, but it really looks like he's trying to generate power and lift the ball.
It's like he's trying to will himself out of the hole that he's trying to dig out of here. And he's up there like he's got the 3-wood in his hand on the tee, and he's just trying to grip it and rip it. Three and 2 now. A.J. Pollock is on deck. A.J. had an RBI single his first time up. Chase Utley. Our quarter of the game brought to you by Geico. A.J. Pollock. I can't think of one game where we didn't have a chance to tie it up or win it. We're comfortable playing close games. Well, they have to be. They play close games all the time.
And that's because they've been winning a lot of close games. You see their numbers in the 16 losses this year, 6 of them by 1 run, 6 by 2 runs, and 4 by 3 or more. You can find ways to win games, and you can very easily find ways to lose those close games. And fortunately, so far, the Diamondbacks have found ways to win them.
When you scout A.J. Pollock, he'll read as a guy with average tools, but it's the combination of everything that makes him such an appealing option here. He's not fast, but he runs well, steals bases. Doesn't have a great arm, but he covers a lot of ground out there and is among the league leaders in defensive metrics. Doesn't have big power, but he's hit some home runs and leads the league in doubles. Chops one to Galvis down at third. 9 in a row now, set down by Kyle Kendrick.
Left fielder, Jason Kubel.
Kyle Kendrick's career high is 11 wins. He's done that 3 times. 54 and 42 for his career with a 4.30 ERA coming into this season. But he goes into this start 4-1, the ERA under 2.5. Jason Kubel grounded out his first time up. Moms love the D-backs. Perfect day for Mom. Perfect day for a perfect mom. This place is full up, BB. This is great. Great crowd here. Mother's Day Sunday at Chase Field. Go down, get an omelet. Have some Cold Stone. Watch some Diamondbacks baseball.
Cactus corn. I'll just go right down the list.
You are big. I think you've sent Dennis down there probably, I'd say 3 times a week on average. Dominic Brown. Kyle Kendrick has retired 10 in a row. Mike and Sharon selling some cactus corn here on Mother's Day. Dennis. In part by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Making the pink bats at the Louisville Slugger Factory for Mother's Day. As Major League Baseball continues to do an outstanding job raising funds and awareness for breast cancer research. Kyle Kendrick has retired 10 in a row. Brandon McCarthy is set down the last 7 he's faced. He'll face the bottom of the Phillies order here. Galvis, Kratz, and Kendrick. 7, 8, 9 here in the Philadelphia fifth. 2-0 Diamondbacks. Gerardo Parra, leadoff home run in the bottom of the first. A.J. Pollock followed later in the inning with an RBI single.
Prado multitasks just like my mom.
That's outstanding work. If there's one thing you can say for Martin Prado, he does multitask.
And so does Mom. Roof closed, but eye black on.
Galvis is 2 for 2.
Catcher.
That's the 4th hit of the day for the Phillies. Here's Eric Kratz. This start has gone very contrary to what we've seen from Brandon McCarthy so far this season. He last started Tuesday at Dodger Stadium. Gave up 3 runs on 8 hits and 6 1/3. Got a no decision. He allowed 3 straight singles in the first to give up a run. Allowed a homer and a single in the second. And then retired 12 of the next 14 he faced. And that was a similar pattern to Brandon's previous start against the Giants when he gave up a leadoff home run. Gave up a double in the second and then retired 9 of 10. So 12 of 14, 9 of 10. We've seen in his last 2 starts that Brandon can settle in, find a rhythm or a comfort zone, and pitch very effectively for extended portions of ball games. And in fact, prior to the Galvis single, as we mentioned, he'd retired 7 in a row. He's been very efficient so far. 40 of his 53 pitches for strikes. He has scattered the 4 hits and pitching well here with a 2-0 lead. There's the strikeout. 5th strikeout of the game for Brandon McCarthy.
Talk about those positive stretches of the season for Brandon McCarthy. Unfortunately, when he's had negative stretches, they've been bad. 8 times this year he's given up 2 or more runs in the inning. That's 9th most in the major leagues.
That's the big inning. That's what's gotten him. Kyle Kendrick flied out his first time up. Chavez creeps in at third. Yeah, no National League pitcher has given up more hits this season than Brandon. 61 hits in 40 innings coming in. Only 2 National League starters have allowed more runs. Only Ryan Vogelsong has a higher ERA in the National League. So the ground ball rate, as we've talked about, is the same. The fly ball rate, fly ball to home run ratio has to improve. But other than that, all the numbers say, and we're seeing that today, that Brandon McCarthy will improve and the results will be there based simply on the way he's pitching. Bunt situation for Kendrick. As a hitter, he's 2 for 15 on the year with 9 strikeouts. New set of signs from Ryan Sandberg. He squares up again. 0-2. Ryan Sandberg, the coach at third for the Phillies. Juan Samuel at first. Hinske makes the play. Galvis moves up.
Hey fans, we invite you to play Kachinko by signing up at one of the 16 interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Arizona Diamondbacks regular season home game. The Martin Prado game piece was featured on Mother's Day here at the ballpark.
Ben Revere 0 for 2. In 15 previous starts in the leadoff spot this year, Revere has batted only .194 in 62 at-bats. Ben Revere had a big night here last night, batted 8th for Charlie Manuel. He was on base 4 times, 2 singles, a walk. He scored twice.
3 of those 4 times, Cliff Lee came to the plate and bunted him up 90 feet.
They were able, that was the key for me last night, Bob. They were able to get very productive at bats from the number 8 and 9 hitters. And in a close game like that, it turned out to be the difference. Revere twice scored, helped in part by Cliff Lee's sacrifice bunts. He was moved along. And even if they're outs from the 9 hole there, from the pitcher, they're productive outs. And in a 3-1 game, they were the difference. Revere's career with the Phillies off to a slow start. Hit 200 in April, played 23 games. It just wasn't working. But he's come around lately, batting 400 in May, 10 for 25 this month. Gregorius. Once again, Brandon McCarthy strands a base runner. Will go bottom 5. He leads it 2-0. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0 on Mom's Day. Moms just don't get to watch the game. Fox Sports Arizona Fan Express, brought to you by Cox Communications and Fry's Food Stores, is back and ready to take you to a D-backs game. Stop by this month's participating Gilbert Cox retail store or Fry's Food Store in Prescott Valley, and you can enter to win 2 seats on the Fan Express bus. Get on that bus and come down to a D-backs game. We'll drive you. May 25th or 26th. Registration ends tomorrow, so this is it. Don't wait. More information at foxsportsarizona.com. You get on the bus. It's got that great-looking D-backs Sedona red bus. They drive you here, take you to the game. They drive you back. Whole bus full of D-backs fans.
That's the best part of it. Everybody on that bus coming to the ballpark, rooting for the D-backs. Common interest.
High five. Eric Kinski struck out his first time up, starting at first base today. Paul Goldschmidt getting his first day off the year. And Hinske drives it to right center. Here comes Revere. One away. That's 11 in a row now, set down by Kyle Kendrick. Kendrick almost gave up the cycle in the first. He gave up a home run, a triple, and a single. Diamondbacks got 2 runs on 3 hits, and since then it's been crickets.
I think what we've seen is Kyle Kendrick tried to establish his fastball in that first inning, was trying to work it in and out. D-backs were jumping all over every mistake he made. Since that first inning, however, he started to incorporate that changeup, a couple of breaking pitches, thrown more off-speed stuff. He's kept the Diamondbacks hitters off balance.
Brandon McCarthy tapped back to the mound his first time up. Chase Utley. So that's twice through the order now against Kyle Kendrick, who's retired 12 in a row. And since that first inning, as we've said, it's been very quiet offensively for the Diamondbacks. And here's Gerardo Parra, who started everything off with that leadoff home run. This is the box score so far, BB, for the Diamondbacks. And as you can see, the production at the top. Pollock had the other RBI single back in the first, and that's been it.
Well, and I've said it many, many times against good pitchers, and right now you'd have to say, oh, Kyle Kendrick has been a good pitcher for the Phillies. You got to get them early. Once you let them settle in and get comfortable on that mound, get the right split between their fastball and their off-speed pitches, they can be very tough. Get them before they settle in.
And Brandon McCarthy's done a tremendous job of making that quick 2-0 lead stand here. Brandon has retired 10 of the last 11 he's faced. This is Gerardo Parra to lead off the game for the D-backs here.
What a way to get it started. Fastball is just straight out over the middle of the plate, up about belt high.
His 3rd of the season. He had 3 hits last night. He was 3 for 4. Goes down and chops it the other way. It's a base hit. Gerardo Parra's on base again. That was pretty. That was really nice. Just go down and slap it to the left side.
Shortstop, D.D. Gregorius.
That's what you can do when you have that third baseman drawn in a little bit. It takes away from his range. You can see Galvis just cutting across there. Ball sneaks underneath his glove. Had he been playing at a normal depth at third base, he might be able to make the play on that ball. But as it is, an infield hit for Gerardo Parra here with 2 outs in the 5th.
D.D. Gregorius. He tripled back in the first and has popped up to second. He's 1 for 2. Follow the D-backs. Hand those out when you walk in the ballpark. All the D-backs on the Twitter. Everybody has a Twitter handle except Bob Brenly. Cody Ross and family on the cover of D-backs Insider here this month. Discussion in the truck as to why Bob isn't on Twitter. I think I need to be commended for letting up on. I was kind of hard on you the first week and I backed off. I'm like, all right, this is just not going to happen.
I appreciate that.
Didn't change your mind, but I admire that. Kyle Kendrick, 66 pitches, 43 for strikes. Gerardo Parra has 4 stolen bases this year. He's been caught 5 times. (2-0). Kevin Towers says about D.D. Gregorius, he's everything we hope for and more. If he's healthy and playing well, he's going to be out there playing quite a bit. And Bob, you and I are in agreement. Put him out there every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unless he absolutely needs a day off, but yeah.
And it's been interesting since he was moved up and since the stakes were raised, so to speak. moved up from hitting 8th to 2nd in the order and batting 2nd against left-hand pitchers. Nothing seems to have changed. Souvenir on Mother's Day. Got to fix the hat, though. Nice. That's great. 2-1 now. Inside, 3-1. Martin Prado on deck. 2-4-0 for the Diamondbacks, 0-4-0 for the Phillies. Parra takes off. Gregorius fouls it back.
And I think for Didi, it was a really good thing that he got off to a fast start. I mean, you can't get off to a much faster start than he did. Homering on the first pitch he saw at Yankee Stadium as a member of the D-backs. But even great players, even Hall of Fame players, occasionally stumble out of the gate just trying to get their feet underneath them here at the major league level. And it takes a lot longer to settle in. But for Didi, he hit the ground running.
Down the line. Foul ball.
Nice snag down there by Dave Abdu.
The Golden Glover down there in the left field line. This is a tremendous play.
Not an easy play. Had to play the carom off the side wall, put himself in a great position. Nice going, Dave.
I think I'm nominating that as Golden Glover play of the year so far.
So far.
Yeah, that's solid. 3-2 to Gregorius. We'll do it again here. Parra takes off. Strikes out looking. We're through 5. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. Diamondbacks with a 2-0 lead here on Mother's Day as we start the 6th inning. Jamie Rollins, Chase Utley, and Ryan Howard 2, 3, and 4 in the Phillies 6th. Against Brandon McCarthy, who has retired 10 of the last 11 he's faced. He's made a 2-0 first inning lead stand up here. Rollins is 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. Cotton Candy sitting on mom's lap watching the game.
Life's good.
Rollins 4 for 14 in the series so far. That includes the leadoff home run he hit off Ian Kennedy here Friday night.
Rollins and Utley. It seems like these guys have played together forever for the Phillies. Well, they played a long time, 991 games together in that middle of the infield for the Phillies. They got a ways to go to catch up with Alan Trammell and sweet Lou Whitaker, who's celebrating a birthday today.
Rollins to left. Jason Kugel's there, one away.
Trammell and Whitaker played over 1,900 games together over 19 seasons. We're going to talk about two guys thinking with the same brain, reacting as one out there as a unit in the middle of the field. Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker did it as good as any two middle infielders ever did it.
And I have contended that in the minds of the baseball writers and the voters, that in a strange way, Tram kind of gets penalized for working with Lou Whitaker all that time. And I think that hurts him in Hall of Fame consideration. It should not, but I think in the minds of some, they say, well, he got to play with Lou Whitaker all the time.
Well, Lou Gehrig got to play with Babe Ruth. Come on. Can't penalize him for that. Put him in as a unit. That's what they ought to do.
I've had voters tell me that. Well, he played with Whitaker, and
oh, geez.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
Sir,
is that a? What is that?
I'm not quite sure.
Do we have rally monkeys? No, I hope not. Yeah, they're there. Utley drives it to center. Drops in front of Pollock. Chase Utley 2 for 3.
I mean, getting back to those middle infielders, when you think about the turnover at positions on a major league team, if you can keep the two guys up the middle of your infield together for a long period of time, like Trammell and Whitaker, like Utley and Rollins, it really eliminates a lot of potential mistakes. You know, I mentioned two guys thinking with the same brain. You know exactly how long it's going to take your partner to get to the base on a double play. You know exactly who's covering on a comebacker to the pitcher, who's covering on a steal attempt. Those are things you don't have to go into spring training and grind on, trying to get that timing together, because you're so accustomed to each other at the other position, it just becomes second nature.
Well, with Aaron Hill signed to an extension and Gregorius here, only 23 years old, that should happen here once Aaron gets healthy. Eric Hinsky. He'll take the out at first. And look at Didi Gregorius. He's standing by third base. Didi noticed that with a runner on second, no one was occupying third, and he raced all the way over there to cover the bag.
Right fielder, Delman Young.
They have a term in basketball, court awareness, knowing where you are on the court, knowing where your teammates are, knowing where the other team is, and Didi has that in baseball.
How about Eric Hinsky here? First start of the year at first base.
And probably a good decision by Eric. That throw to second base could possibly have hit Chase Utley in the back. Utley actually changed directions as he was running into second base to try to get in line with the throw.
Yeah, when that happens, you plunk the guy in the back, then it's a disaster, and you've got the big inning. So get the sure out, get 2 outs, and work to Delman Young. Eric Hinsky getting his first start of the season in the field. Just his second start all year. He was the DH once back in Yankee Stadium. Paul Goldschmidt has the day off. Just a scheduled day off. Goldie's first of the year. 0-1 to Delman Young. That one got Kerwin Danley. So Miguel Montero will go have a chat. Professional courtesy here to give the home plate umpire a chance to shake it off.
You know, we talked about that Eric Hinsky play. Watch Chase Utley. He'll break for second base. He knows where the ball is. He's going to cut to his left right there to try to get in line with any possible throw that Hinsky made to second base. That's just good veteran base running right there. I mean, that probably made Eric Hinsky change his mind and just take the sure out at first base rather than risk hitting that runner in the back.
The little things.
Savvy veteran base running.
McCarthy ahead here, 0-2. Gerardo Parra. Once again, Brandon McCarthy strands the base runner. 6 scoreless for Brandon so far. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Martin Prado. Field, welcome back. Diamondbacks leading the Philadelphia Phillies 2-0. Fun times at the Ram Trucks Pool. Great place to watch a game. Now get the pool area on Mother's Day. That's big time. I know you said you got to do all 4 and everything. Hey, Mom, we got the pool on Mother's Day. Now, how about that? That's big league. Prado, Chavez, and Montero 3, 4, and 5 here in the 6th. Martin Prado is 0 for 2. Kyle Kendrick cruising along here. He has retired 13 of the last 14 he's faced. Prado 3 for 13 in the series so far. Hard to short. Rollins behind the bag.
Third baseman, Eric Chavez.
Eric Chavez came up in the 3rd inning and thought he might have had his 5th home run of the year. There's a strike. This was Eric's last at bat back in the 3rd inning against Kyle Kendrick.
Nice
Dominic
run.
Brown.
Yeah, nice running catch by Dominic Brown. Notice he got back to the fence, was moving laterally along the fence rather than going straight back into it. Chavez this time just lines one into center field for a 1-out base hit.
That ball was scorched.
Good plate coverage. That pitch was probably off the plate away, but it was elevated. Eric got a real good look at it, was able to barrel it up and hit that line drive right into center field.
Here's Miguel Montero. Mickey has reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. 1 for 11 in the series so far. Kendrick got the call there, and Miguel would like to talk about it a little bit. Down and away.
That seems the way it goes when you're struggling a little bit at the plate. Every borderline call goes the way of the opposing pitcher. Even some that aren't so borderline.
As we saw last night.
Yeah.
Gary Cedarstrom, your thoughts? Gary, crew chief here, had to play last night and rung up Miguel Montero on a ball that was well outside.
Yeah, it's tough to get called out on strikes on a pitch you cannot in any way, shape, or form get a bat on.
One and two. Now see, if you had a robot ump, you would have missed all the drama.
I can do without drama.
We all can. 2-2. Miggy did a good job of hopping out of the way there.
It went matrix here. That ball looked like it was headed for his front foot. There's a hopscotch over the top of it. You know, partner, we've seen Didi Gregorius take some very aggressive leads off first base. None of it has rubbed off on Eric Chavez.
Know who you are. Struck him out. Fourth strikeout for Kyle Kendrick.
Let's see if he possibly takes a little bit of a bigger lead here with the right-handed hitter at the plate. With the left-handed hitting Miguel Montero at the plate. You want to keep that hole open on the right side of the field. Maybe Miggy could roll one through into right for a base hit. See if he takes a little bit bigger lead with a right-handed hitter.
See if Pollock can find another one of those gaps.
Oh, he's way out there now.
He's almost a good foot and a half off the bag. Crazy talk. Jimmy Rollins. Chavez gets a single. He's stranded. We're through 6, 2-0 Diamondbacks. Rainers today. Kyle Kendrick and Brandon McCarthy both pitching very well.
Yeah, fortunately the Diamondbacks offensively were able to jump Kendrick in that first inning for a couple of runs, but both pitchers have settled in nicely.
McCarthy has done a great job of scattering 5 hits and stranding the base runners every time. Kendrick has really been good since that rocky first inning. And so we're set for the 7th, and Brandon McCarthy has been supremely efficient. 73 pitches, 55 for strikes as he starts the 7th. He'll face Dominic Brown, Freddie Galvis, and Eric Kratz. And Brown lifts one to left. There's Kubel. One pitch, one out here in the 7th.
Boy, and how about this number for Brandon McCarthy? That was the 24th plate appearance of this game by a Philly hitter. 6 times he's been 0-2.
This is not just an improvement. This is a gigantic leap forward. And it's what Brandon has been saying all along. Look, I'm close. I feel good about where things are. Everything is good except the ERA. I've had some big innings. I get it. But look at that. 18 of 24 first pitch strikes.
Freddie Galvis with 2 knocks in the game already. He's seen 4 pitches.
From the Vernon Wells School of Hitting. Freddie Galvis, 23 years old. Played 58 games with Philadelphia last year, hit .226. Signed out of Venezuela in 2006. Funny thing was, over his last 11 games, he'd hit just .160. 4 for 25, but he's 2 for 2 here and make it 3 for 3.
Catcher, Eric Kratz.
Another 0-2 count for Brandon McCarthy. Unfortunately, that time made a mistake. Galvis was able to line it into center field for his 3rd knock of the game.
So with 1 out here is the 8th place hitter, Eric Kratz. He is 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. .50 games with the Phillies last year, hit .248, 9 home runs. Bullpen stirs. Jeremy Horst is up. Right at Didi. Bobbles it. They get the force. And they roll it. A double play. Didi Gregorius, the juggling act, gets McCarthy out of the 7th. A 6-pitch inning, and Brandon McCarthy, 7 innings of shutout ball. Diamondbacks lead at 2-0.
It is a Sanderson Ford Sunday here at the ballpark. 7th inning stretch here on a Mother's Day as we get you set for the upcoming series here. Of course, Diamondbacks looking to win 3 of 4 if they get the win here today against the Phillies, but the Atlanta Braves are coming in, and of course the storyline there with the trade in the offseason, Justin Upton coming. But here are the probable starters this week on Fox Sports Arizona, and Mike Minor is off to a fantastic start. for the Atlanta Braves. Good young left-hander, as is Wade Miley for these Arizona Diamondbacks. So we're looking at a terrific matchup of those two left-handers. Another pair of young pitchers on Tuesday night who have been perfect this season as far as 5-0 for Patrick Corbin. He has been great to start this one. And Tim Hudson and Ian Kennedy rounded out. Tim Hudson, one of the great veteran pitchers in the National League. So interesting series with the Braves as the Diamondbacks round out this 7-game homestand, guys.
Yeah, not catching any breaks here, Bob. Getting Minor, Teheran, and Hudson for Atlanta. But the Diamondbacks getting great pitching here from Brandon McCarthy. Kyle Kendrick has been superb. He's retired 16 of the last 18 he's faced as he gets set to start the bottom of the 7th inning against the D-backs here. Kubel, Hinske, and McCarthy 7, 8, and 9. This season, when the Phillies are trailing after 6 innings, they are 1 and 15. They trail here 2-0 in the 7th. Jason Kubel is 0 for 2, flying out his last time up. Mentioned the Braves. They're losing 5-0 in the 6th inning at San Francisco, and I just saw Justin Upton drop a fly ball. Actually, a Giant fan reached over the fence and knocked it out of his hand, in fairness.
Yeah, that's fan interference. Yeah, you talk about tough opponents coming to town in the Atlanta Braves. If I'm not mistaken, the Diamondbacks have played the toughest schedule through the first month plus whatever we have here in May so far.
Yeah, we haven't played any cupcakes here.
No.
I mean, it's Giants and Dodgers and Phillies and everybody else. Yankees, Rockies, when they were rolling.
They were rolling when we rolled into Colorado.
Three and 2 now. Great walk-up crowd here on Mother's Day. More than 3,600 walk-up tickets sold. 32,785 on Mother's Day here at Chase Field. Kubel drives it to right. Delman Young coming in. And he can't hang on. Kubel's aboard. Leadoff man on here in the 7th.
Occasionally, as an outfielder, you react to a hitter's history. Jason Kubel has a history of being a power hitter, driving that ball to right field. Delman Young froze in his tracks initially, then tried to make up ground, just couldn't get there in time.
So Kubel's aboard. Here is Eric Hinske starting at first base today. Eric is 0 for 2, flying out his last time up. Brandon McCarthy is on deck here, pitching a shutout right now, and the bullpen is quiet. He has been extremely pitch efficient here, so pitch count as of yet, says Glenn Sherlock there, not an issue. Nothing brewing in the bullpen. Left field, Dominic Brown. One away in the 7th. Time to answer the AT&T Twitter poll question, which, if memory serves, was what do you do with Mom on Mother's Day? How do you honor her? Well, you send her flowers.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Or go pick some flowers. That's even better.
And I'm sure you'll enjoy the fact that literally no one said send her a tweet. Not even 0.1%. McCarthy pops a bunt up that drops in front of Kendrick, and now they get the force at second.
Well, smart play by Kendrick, but a smarter play by Brandon McCarthy. Let that ball drop intentionally in front out there to get the lead man at second base. Many times the pitcher will just stop when he bunts the ball in the air, but Brandon McCarthy bunted it in the air and then busted down that first baseline, eliminating the possibility of the Phillies turning a double play.
So McCarthy aboard with 2 outs. Here is Gerardo Parra. Parra is 2 for 3. Homered in the first to lead it off for the Diamondbacks. Singled his last time up. He is 7 for 13 so far in this series. Everybody's got the pink shoes on today, most everybody. Galvis coming in at third. And that's the inning. We're through 7. Brandon McCarthy working on a shutout. He leads it 2-0.
To my wife Allison and to my mom Terry, just want to thank you guys for everything you do, and Mom, and thank you for everything you did for me.
Hi, this is Wade Miley. I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and especially my mom. Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day from all of us here at Chase Field. Don't forget, Diamondbacks host the Atlanta Braves tomorrow through Wednesday here at Chase. Get a lower level bleacher ticket for only $21 to any of the D-backs Braves games, and do it with a value pack. Value pack includes the bleacher ticket. You also get a hot dog, a Pepsi, a free cookie from Subway restaurants, all for $21. So call now. Get the value pack, 602-462-4600, or you can buy them online right now for Mom at dbacks.com/value.
Leading off for Philadelphia.
That's a gamer.
Hitting for Kyle Kendrick, number
Wow.
10, Michael Young.
So you planned it out to become a mom on Mother's Day. Michael Young will lead it off here. He'll hit for Kyle Kendrick, whose night is over. Kendrick was outstanding after that rough first inning. So here's Michael Young hitting for the pitcher to open the 8th inning. Young 1 for 4 with a single and a walk here last night. He scored a run. And they're at 305 on the year, but just 2 for 17 over his last 5 games. Base hit. Leadoff man on for the Phillies here in the 8th. Matt Reynolds warming up. Matt pitched 2/3 of an inning here last night.
Pinch hitting for Ben Revere.
So Charlie Manuel will now hit for Ben Revere as leadoff man. Lance Nix coming up.
We talked about the great night Revere had last night, reaching base 4 times, scoring a couple of runs, but he was 0 for 3 in the game tonight. Charlie's going to take his shot right here with his best pinch hitter.
Yeah, Lance Nix has done a lot of good things off the bench for the Phillies here. Nix came on as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning here last night. Struck out looking against Will Harris. Popped up against David Hernandez as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning Friday night. Pinch hit here in the 9th on Thursday. Grounded out against Heath Bell. Nix 7 for 18 as a pinch hitter this year, including 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Will Nieves running down so they can get a couple of guys warming up down there. 84 pitches now for Brandon McCarthy, 64 for strikes. 2-1 now. Can they roll it here? Prado, Gregorius, Hensky, and they got him. A huge 4-6-3 for Brandon McCarthy. 2 outs now in the 8th.
So what really made the double play is Didi Gregorius' throwing arm at shortstop. Kind of a slow developing play. Slowly hit ball to Martin Prado, but Didi with that off-balance throw while he's jumping over the runner gets enough on it. Hensky able to pick it out of the dirt just ahead of Lance Nix.
Wow, that was close. So in each of the last 2 innings, McCarthy has given up a single and then delivered a double play ball. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins is 0 for 3. Rollins only 9 for 43 in May so far. Pops it straight up. Gregorius. 8 shutout innings here for Brandon McCarthy on Mother's Day at Chase Field. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Gregorius, Prado, and Chavez.
And welcome back here on this Mother's Day. Major League Baseball for the first time using baseballs with pink stitching and markings on it, all part of the fight against breast cancer and, of course, breast cancer awareness. As we welcome you back, and our Major League Baseball authenticator, Stephen Whitley, is very busy over here today, authenticating these balls, as well as after the game, he'll be doing the spikes, the gloves, the bats, and the cleats, of course, and it's just all for breast cancer awareness. They're going to be raising money. Louisville Slugger donating the bats. That's been going on since 2006, and guys, they've raised over $1 million. So fantastic effort by Major League Baseball and all of the players who are contributing to this as well.
It sure is, Jody, a Mother's Day tradition all over Major League Baseball. Didi Gregorius flies out to lead off the eighth. Brandon McCarthy is cruising along here. The double plays have really helped his cause to close this thing out, Bob. It was a 6-pitch seventh inning for Brandon and a 9-pitch eighth inning. He's at 88 right now, 8 shutout innings.
It has gotten stronger as this game has gone on. I really think the difference today, as opposed to the other starts we've seen from Brandon this year, was he very quickly incorporated his off-speed pitches early in the game. Along with that cut fastball and the two-seamer, he threw a couple of curveballs. He threw some straight change-ups. Immediately planted that seed in the back of the Phillies' minds that he was going to use his entire arsenal right from the get-go.
Left-hander Jeremy Horst has come on now after Kendrick was pinch hit for. Boy, if he could close this thing out, if he gets the opportunity, that would really be something. A huge boost, not just for Brandon, but the whole ball club. Heath Bell warming up. Brandon has scattered 7 hits, 2 double play balls in the last 2 innings, really helping out. Kyle Kendrick was also terrific today, and that rocky first inning for the Phillies, gave up the leadoff home run to Gerardo Parra, and that was essentially it. Kendrick 2 runs on 6 hits in 7, but 2 of the runs and 3 of the hits in the first inning, so he was lights out after that first. Prado 0 for 3 so far. 3 for 14 in the series. Coming back your way here tomorrow. First of 3 against the Atlanta Braves.
Obviously, our first look at the Braves this year, it is going to seem odd to have an Atlanta Braves team in town and no Chipper Jones.
Prado 0 for 4.
It was tough enough to get used to no Bobby Cox, but now no Chipper Jones. What's the world coming to?
Third baseman, Eric Chavez.
Eric Chavez 1 for 3, singled. He scored a run and may have had a home run taken away by Dominic Brown out there in left on a fly ball he hit in the 3rd inning that was just at the edge of the fence and left. Eric Chavez has hit safely now in 13 of his last 15 games. He's batting over .340 during that stretch. Diamondbacks and Pepsi invite you to help make a difference by coming out to the D-backs game today. D-backs will donate $5 from every ticket sold today through this offer to City of Hope. For more information, visit dbacks.com/City of Hope, password HOPE. Struck him out. We are through 8. The Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. When we come back, we'll see if Brandon McCarthy can close this thing out, or is it Heath Bell? Find out coming up. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Didi Gregorius, Martin Prado, and more Diamondback defense.
And then turn it around. Martin Prado to Didi Gregorius to Eric Hinske. They say a double play is a pitcher's best friend. I think mom is a pitcher's best friend, but double play a close second.
Brandon McCarthy's day is done. He pitched an outstanding ball game through 8 scoreless innings. And now on for the save. It is the Heath Bell experience. Heath Bell earned his 3rd save in 3 games in Thursday's series opener here against the Phillies at Chase Field after saving the last 2 games at Dodger Stadium. Heath is unscored upon in his last 4 outings, allowing only 2 hits over that span without a walk while striking out 4. Saved by the Bell, you bet. He's 3 for 3 in save opportunities over that span.
Had to be a little bit of a tough decision for Charles Nagy and Kirk Gibson to go to the closer. Not that they don't have faith in Heath Bell, but Brandon McCarthy with an outstanding performance. His pitch count was in good shape.
Well, it's funny, Bob, because there's a school of thought that says if you're going to go to Bell, go to him first. Let him start the whole inning rather than coming in. And we've seen Gibby do that earlier. When the starter goes back out there, gives up a single, then you go to the closer, and it's not quite the same inning. So either it's McCarthy's game for this inning until the lead is gone, or Heath Bell starts the 9th. It seems to go better when it's one or the other. Do you have a particular philosophy about that? Or?
I think it was all subjective. It always depended on how much work has your closer had. Where do you feel your starter is at that point? Who's coming up for the opposing team? I mean, certainly closing is not a new experience for Heath Bell, but since JJ went on the disabled list, he's been inserted into that 9th inning role, and I think Gibby wants to get him in there as often as he can, as quickly as he can, to acclimate him to a role that he's had before, but relatively new with this ball club.
But the school of thought often is if you're going to go to the closer at any point in the 9th inning, your best bet is to let him start the inning, and that appears to be Kirk Gibson's thinking here. He's ahead on Chase Utley, 0-2. Utley 2 for 3, singled his last 2 times up.
And as nice as it would be for Brandon McCarthy, I'm sure, to finish this game, you want to finish on a positive. He's had a great afternoon. He's thrown the ball the way everybody hoped he would. Get him out of there before anything bad can happen in the 9th inning.
Heath Bell has held the opposition scoreless in 11 of his last 13 appearances. Pitching 13 innings over that span, just 2 walks and 17 strikeouts. And that curveball has looked great lately. 1-2 now. Utley drives it to right. It's off the wall. Parr will fish it out of the corner. Utley stops at second. Leadoff double for the Phillies here in the 9th. Utley 3 for 4.
This is just a case of bad location. Chase Utley is lightning quick on that inside part of the plate, as he proves right here. Heath Bell tried to come in with a fastball. Almost hit our camera out there in right field.
So 3 straight hits now for Utley.
You okay?
You ready, bye? Ready, bye?
He has no idea that.
Ryan Howard now.
Yeah, for me, Chase Utley's one of those guys. You can throw him 100 fastballs on the outside corner and try to sneak one past him on that inside corner, and he'll be all over.
Howard 0 for 3. The career numbers there against Heath Bell. In this series so far, Ryan Howard is 0 for 16 with 9 strikeouts. Batting .287 versus right-hand pitchers, including 4 of his 6 home runs. He's the tying run at the plate with no outs here in the 9th. Prado in shallow right. One away, Utley to third. Diamondbacks Live coming up next. Post-game show. Cindy Brunson, Jody Jackson have that for you. Delman Young, 1 for 3, single back in the second. Delman Young used to big spots, MVP of last year's ALCS with the Tigers. He had .353 in the 4 games against the Yankees. 6 for 17 in that series with 2 home runs. Nice block by Miguel Montero way out that left-hand batter's box.
Heath Bell joked about it the other day in L.A., giving up those doubles in the 9th inning. His last 3 appearances, he's given up a 9th inning double, but none of them have come around to score.
It's remarkable. Kind of raises the stakes, that's for sure. Hey, Bob, it's another close game here in the 9th.
Imagine that.
Spiked that one there. That was a 50-footer.
Well, it got him on that little shoulder extension on the right side. You see that little black piece that's sticking out off the chest protector to protect his throwing shoulder. That's exactly where that curveball hit.
Strike, says Kerwin Danley, 2-2. Ooh. You know what? Diamondbacks were owed one of those after last night. Three and two. Dominic Brown is on deck. Right field, Parra. He won't get there. It's off the wall. Utley will score. Delman Young stops at second. RBI double, and it's a 1-run ball game. Second double of the inning, given up by Heath Bell.
Yeah, center cut fastball. Delman Young swings a little late, but gets the barrel of the bat on it. Finds that right field corner. A busy inning out there for Gerardo Parra.
So now the go-ahead run will come to the plate. John Mayberry Jr. will run for Delman Young. So Mayberry Jr. is the tying run at second with 1 out here in the 9th. Dominic Brown 0 for 3. It gets through Gregorius. They wave Mayberry. The game is tied.
Too bad for Brandon McCarthy, who pitched a gem today. Absolutely no location today for Heath Bell. Everything down the middle of the plate, center cut, hittable fastballs. That one looked like it got underneath the glove of Didi Gregorius, shading up the middle of the field just a little bit. Phillies tied.
And now with a go-ahead run on, Freddie Galvis will hit, and they've had no answers for him. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles. This is a guy who had hit only 160 in his previous 11 games, but he steps in here 3 for 3. Three hits and 2 runs already in the inning. Carlos Ruiz has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle. 1-0.
It's another dangerous at bat. A hot hitter today, Freddie Galvis. Really good fastball hitter. And right now, Heath Bell just can't seem to throw that curveball for strikes. And when you take away weapon number 2, it's all fastballs.
Sixteen pitches, 9 for strikes. Straight up in the air. Chavez will give it a look with Montero. 2 down. So with 2 outs, here is Carlos Ruiz, and the Chooch chants go up here. Chase.
It's kind of hard to tell exactly how many Philly fans are in the crowd today because the red kind of blends in with the Sedona red, but with that Chooch chant, you know there's a few of them here.
Ruiz 1 for 4 in the Phillies win here yesterday. He's hit in 5 straight, 5 for 19 over that span.
There's that curveball again. Just can't seem to get it up there in the air, at least to the point where Philly hitters might swing at it.
It's funny because the curveball has been outstanding for Heath when he got those 3 straight saves on 3 days.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the pink seams on the baseball. For a guy that depends heavily on a breaking pitch, any change in those seams could make a difference. I kind of doubt it, but
it's a legitimate question.
It's a possibility.
Two and 0. Papelbon, who got 5 outs last night, is up and throwing again. Bastardo is the left-hander. Diamondbacks bullpen. Brad Ziegler is up and throwing on the Z-Can. Right field again. It gets through into center. Base hit for Ruiz. Brown stops at second. 4th hit of the inning for the Phillies. Kirk Gibson has seen enough. Brad Ziegler comes in. We'll take a break from Chase. Has been outstanding as the closer this week, but a rough spot here. It's a 2-2 game now, and into a mess walks Brad Ziegler looking for that 1 or 2 pitch ground ball.
He'll do it against the pinch hitter Kevin Franzen, the last available position player for Charlie Manuel off the bench.
Franzen pinch hit in Thursday's series opener here at Chase Field. He blooped one over the head of Cliff Pennington at second to drive in a run. Franzen hitting .294 over his last 11 games, but with just 19 plate appearances over that span, so 5 for his last 17. First pitch swinging right to Prado. That's the inning. Another 1-pitch outing for Brad Ziegler, and once again he gets out of trouble. 2-2 bottom 9 on Mother's Day at Chase. MLB.TV celebrates 11 years with new low prices. Watch every out-of-market game on over 350 supported mobile devices or in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. It's baseball everywhere. New pitcher for the Phillies, Antonio Bastardo.
Well, we've seen a lot of Bastardo already in this series. Missed out on game 1, but pitched 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, nothing else. In game 2 last night, came in to pitch the 8th, gave up a hit, a walk, and a run in 1/3 of an inning of work, and here he is again.
Defensive changes for the Phillies. Mayberry Jr. stays in. He's in center field now. He takes over for Ben Revere. Lance Nix is the new right fielder, replacing Delman Young. So Brown, Mayberry, and Nix left to right in the Philadelphia outfield. Montero, Pollock, Kubel here for the Diamondbacks in the 9th. Miggy is 0 for 3. He struck out his last time up. One for 12 in the series so far. Two.
You're looking at the very end of that bat, must have cued it right off the last inch or so of that 34-inch bat.
Hard to first, Howard. One away. A.J. Pollock is 1 for 3. He had an RBI single back in the first. Diamondbacks got 2 runs on 3 hits in the first against Kyle Kendrick, and they have had just 3 hits since. They've been out hit here 11-6.
Like a cross up there. Carlos Ruiz in self-defense barely got leather on that ball. Ricocheted over to the first base side. Yeah, he was expecting a breaking pitch, got a fastball instead.
It's still a strike.
A.J. Pollock leads the National League with his 14 doubles. He had 2 in the ball game last night. He hasn't hit one yet today. It's about time.
One and 2. AJ this season, 250 versus right-hand pitching, 283 versus lefties. Struck him out. 2 down. Cody Ross coming up. Cody Ross has a flair for the dramatic, and this would be a good time for it.
And hitting for Jason Goodman, number 7, Cody Ross.
Ross, as we saw in the 2010 postseason, always considered a clutch player. Several dramatic homers with the Red Sox last year. 6 of his home runs last year either tied the game or gave the Red Sox the lead in the 6th inning or later. 1-0. Brody with a walk and an RBI sac fly here last night. Drove in the D-backs' only run of the game. 2 for 7 in the series so far. Batting .310 in May. He is 9 for his last 29. And batting .400 this season against left-hand pitching. Two and one.
Late breaking slider down and in to Cody Ross. Just able to check his swing in the estimation of first base umpire Mike Machlinski.
Three and one. Eric Hinsky is on deck.
Don't forget Paul Goldschmidt is lurking over there on the Diamondbacks bench.
Got some good options down there. A lot of guys had the day off today. Ball 4. Winning runs aboard with 2 outs here in the 9th. Right on cue, Bob. Hinsky back to the dugout. Paul Goldschmidt has appeared. And the fans are on their feet. Charlie Manuel has come out.
I just wanted to check with Kerwin Danley to make sure that Paul Goldschmidt had been announced as the pinch hitter, and Kerwin said yes indeed he has, and Charlie's going to make the trip to the mound, bring in a right-hander.
Is he going to the big guy? That's the question. Nope. Pitching change here at Chase Field. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. Paul Goldschmidt's coming up. Chance to make it a happy Mother's Day for sure. A winning run aboard here in the bottom of the 9th with 2 out for the Diamondbacks on Mother's Day. And into the fray enters Justin DeFreitas, just called up from Lehigh Valley.
Fastball slider changeup combination from DeFreitas.
And he's got a whole lot of trouble coming up to the plate. Pinch hitting for Eric Hinsky. Paul Goldschmidt. 1 for 4 yesterday, 1 for 9 in the series so far. Now second in the National League in RBIs. and a chance to drive in a winning run here. Out of play. One and one. Already got a walk-off hit. Still looking for the first ever walk-off homer. This would be a memorable spot for it. One and two.
Questek. Man.
Yeah, that's a ball.
You want the players to decide the outcome of the ball game. All fastballs so far from DeFreitas, all of them sitting right around 92, 93 miles per hour. Not a lot of movement, fairly straight.
Cliff Pennington is out on deck. Three and two. Pitcher's spot is up next. Got him. We'll play extra innings on Mother's Day here at Chase Field. Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Extra innings on Mother's Day at Chase Field. We go to the 10th, tied up at 2. And a new pitcher on for the D-backs. This is the big lefty, Matt Reynolds.
Number 7, Cody Ross. And first base, number 44,
Paul Goldschmidt, who pinch hit in that spot there for Eric Hinsky, stays in the game. He'll play first base. And looks like Cody Ross is out there in left as well.
Yeah, 3 of the first 4 hitters this inning for the Phillies, left-handed bats. Jimmy Rollins, the number 2 hitter this inning, a switch hitter. So Matt Reynolds is the guy.
Lance Nix. Goldschmidt testing right out of the gate here. And as usual, flying colors, 1 away.
shortstop, Jimmy Rollins.
Hang in there, Mom.
Jimmy Rollins 0 for 4. Rollins 4 for 16 in the series so far. He's had a rough month, just 9 for 44. Base hit. Chase Utley is 3 for 4. Rollins is aboard.
Quick on that inside fastball. Jimmy Rollins usually hits for a better average from the right side, more power from the left side. Smoked that ball right past Eric Chavez at third.
Utley struck out in his first at bat back in the first. Since then, he has singled, doubled, and scored a run.
Jimmy Rollins 4 out of 6 in stolen base attempts this season. He's definitely a base stealing threat, no doubt about that. .407 stolen bases in his major league career. Stolen over 43 times, over 30 a couple of other times.
Utley is 5 for 14 in the series. 3 hits in his last 3 at bats here. Make it 4. Goes down the right field line. Rollins flies into third. They'll stop him there. Utley's aboard with his 4th hit of the ball game.
First baseman Ron Howard.
Fastball down on the inner third of the plate. Chase Utley goes down and gets it, golfs it into that right field corner. There's one time Gerardo Parra knows better than to try to throw that guy out at second base with the lead runner, Jimmy Rollins, turning the corner at third. You want to get that ball back into the cutoff man as quickly as possible. Forget about Chase Utley. Jimmy Rollins was the guy you were worried about there.
What do you do here? First base open. Howard hasn't had a hit in the series yet.
I think you go right after it. Under normal circumstances, when Ryan Howard is swinging the bat the way he can, I think you walk him, load him up, go for the double play ball. But because he has scuffled as badly as he has in this series, go get him.
And look at Bob, the shift is on, but all three guys on that right side are in on the edge of the grass. Didi well over on the second base side, or the first base side of second. There's Gregorius, the shortstop, and look at Prado, the second baseman, in on the grass as well. Howard 0 for 17 in the series with 9 strikeouts. 2-1.
Well, I think you really have to be careful with off-speed pitches to Ryan Howard right now. It seems to be the one thing he can catch up to and do some damage. That one maybe caught the corner of the strike zone there, up high and in.
Right field, it drops in there. Rollins will score. Here comes Utley. 2-run single for Ryan Howard, his first hit of the series, and it's 4-2 Phillies.
Fastball outer, third and down. Ryan Howard, no stride whatsoever, just throws the bat through the hitting zone. It's that top spin line drive into right field. Good base running by Chase Utley there. Got a real good read at second base and scores without a play.
John Mayberry now. Rich Doobie on the phone in the dugout. Papelbon begins to limber up. Got a 5-out save here last night. Papelbon last night, by the way, 29 pitches.
And the scoreless streak for Matt Reynolds ends after 22 consecutive scoreless outings. Really glad to get that out of the way. You realize as a major league pitcher, you're going to give up some runs over the course of the season, and the more you have to talk about it, the better chance you're going to give something up. And it's been a topic of conversation lately for Matt Reynolds.
Yeah, it's like going into the NCAA basketball tournament undefeated.
Yeah.
And then you're knocked off by a 16 seed in the first round. Just get it out of the way and focus on playing the game. There's the strikeout. 2 down here in the 10th. Dominic Brown steps up. Will Harris throwing for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks in the 10th will have 9-1-2 up there. Pitcher spot, Parra and Gregorius. Up the middle, a base hit. Fourth hit of the inning for the Phillies.
Just a well-placed grounder. Nice effort by Martin Prado. Got a little bit of help. That ball hit on the first base side of the mound and kind of bent back in his direction, but just can't quite get there.
Two runs on 4 hits for the Phillies in the 9th. 2 runs on 4 hits in the 10th. They've out-hit the Diamondbacks 15-6. Freddie Galvis 3 for 4.
Galvis, a switch hitter, 2 different guys. He was hitting .323 coming into play today before his 3 for 4 day. 071 from the right side, only 1 for 14.
Oh, 2. Gets him to chase. And that ends the inning. We'll go bottom 10. Diamondbacks trail it 4-2. Two here to keep this thing going. Cliff Pennington will pinch hit for the pitcher spot here. Pennington, Parra, Gregorius in the 10th against the man who got 5 outs for the save last night, Jonathan Papelbon.
Well, Jonathan Papelbon completely scrapped his splitter in the ball game last night, threw all fastballs. You mentioned at the time, Steve, and you've seen a lot more Jonathan Papelbon than I have. If he doesn't have a good feel for that splitter, he just puts it in his back pocket and throws all heaters.
Well, as we saw also last night, Bob, that he had a lot of movement on that pitch. The ball was really cutting into righties and away from lefties nicely. A lot of late life on that Papelbon fastball, and when he's not feeling the split, he will put it away, and it becomes a one-pitch guy. That doesn't mean he's ineffective, as we saw last night. So Pennington, Parra, Gregorius here in the 10th.
Leading off for the defense and pinch hitting for Matt Reynolds.
Cliff Pennington 0 for 2 with a walk in his last start. That was in Thursday night series opener. Cliff has hit safely in 6 of his last 9 games, 320 over that stretch. He is 8 for his last 25. Papelbon 29 pitches to get 5 outs last night. And they were all in high leverage situations, so maybe he's a little bit gassed here. .91, 1-0. There's that 9-game stretch for Cliff. 8 for his last 25, a homer and 6 RBIs. Cliff swinging the bat well lately. Opened up the season with 12 hits in his first 12 games, then fought through that 1 for 29 stretch. But now 8 for his last 25 up there now. One and two. Diamondbacks are 6-0 this season in extra innings, so see if they can keep that streak going here. There's your John Lithgow look, baby. Ring him up, sit him down. Kerwin Danley says strike 3. And Bob, I'm with you now on the robot umps.
I'm telling you, you know, you get into extra innings, you get into the late innings of a close ball game. You don't want the umpire to determine who wins a ball game. That's a horrible pitch. Come on, Kerwin.
Mentioned how that Papelbon fastball will tail away from the lefty and into the righty nicely. That was a good example of that right there. I'm not with you on the robot umps. I'm just upset.
Well, I've been with them for a long time. I've seen enough of this over the years.
Gerardo Parra 2 for 4, including a leadoff homer. 0-1. Parra 7 for 14 in the series. Chopper, Papelbon. 2 down.
Shortstop, D.D. Gregorius.
It's up to D.D. Gregorius. He tripled his first time up. He's 1 for 4. Hit the Ram truck. Nice work. Take a base hit. That's all we need here. Tell you what, with his pull power, he could hit the truck. But right now, you're just looking for a walk or a single. Get the tying run up to the plate here.
Act up.
For 4 yesterday. 3 for 15 in the series. Didi came into the game batting .438 versus right-handers this year. Game just crossing the 3-hour mark. 1-2 now. Two and two. Martin Prado is on deck if Gregorius can somehow get aboard here.
A 2-run lead makes a big difference for Jonathan Papelbon. He'll use both sides of the plate, leading by 2 with nobody on base. If this was a 1-run game, he'd probably work away.
Going away here. Back with you tomorrow for 3 against the Atlanta Braves. No immediate storyline comes to mind. I'm sure we'll think of something. Base hit. Didi heads for second. Tying run will come to the plate here in the 10th. Didi Gregorius.
Dominic Brown kind of sneaking up on that ball in left center field, playing very deep, cutting across. Took a little bit of a deeper line right there. Didi didn't need any of that. He's going to second base anyway.
So Martin Prado steps up as the tying run with 2 outs here in the 10th. Martin 0 for 4 today. He has struck out twice. 3 for 15 in the series. The rally hat is in place. And frankly has never looked better.
I love it.
Center field, Mayberry. Drifting over toward right, he has it. And the Phillies get the split. Diamondbacks went into the 9th with a 2-0 lead, and they lose it in 10, 4-2, spoiling a magnificent outing for Brandon McCarthy.
Yeah, that's the bright side of the afternoon. Brandon McCarthy was fantastic today. Hopefully the first outstanding start of many for him.
Certainly a foundation upon which to build. Phillies salvage a split of the 4-game set. Braves in here beginning tomorrow 4-3. And we'll see you back here from Chase Field tomorrow night. Now a complete report on the postgame show. Let's send it out to Cindy Brunson. Cindy.
Thanks so much. This is the Diamondbacks Live post-game show presented by CenturyLink. I'm Cindy Brunson. So glad to have you along the way. In front of more than 32,700 strong for the first time this season, the Diamondbacks fall in extra innings. Now 6 up, only 1 down in extra innings this season as the Phillies earn the split, get the victory 4-2. Jonathan Papelbon with his 7th save of the season, 264 career. Much more ahead on the post-game show, and we will get you set for those visiting Braves next.